Good morning. It's Sunday, May, I think it's 18th, 6:50 a.m. Getting ready to catch a shuttle here in about 10 minutes. We're at the Marathon gas station on the outskirts of Damascus. So I'm going to be taken back to where I had gotten off at mile 449.5. I think it's Tennessee Highway 91. Today I'm looking at going about 11 and a half miles to a shelter. I'm not going to sleep in the shelter. I'll sleep in my tent, but I like the shelter because they have privies here and also because there's usually water nearby and people. Anyway, I'll do that tonight, and then to bring me back into Damascus tomorrow. So my plan is to get into Damascus tomorrow somewhere around noon or 1. And I'm going to stay at a church hostel called The Place. They have very strict rules, but I like it because I feel like it's going to be quiet. That will give me an opportunity to mail some things home I'm not using anymore, to get a few small resupply items, and to get some much needed sleep because the partying at this festival at night made it hard to sleep, though I didn't sleep too bad last night. So that's the plan. And then after I get out of Damascus tomorrow, it's going to take me 5 to 6 days to get up to Marion, Virginia. So I figure I'm going to make certain I'm secure and ready to go there. All is well. It looks like it's going to be a nice sunny day. All right, 7:40 a.m. Sunday morning, back on the trail. Just got dropped off at Highway 91 in Tennessee. Here's my white Blaze. So the person I rode up with is actually heading southbound, going back towards Boots Off Hostel. So she's going to take 2 days to do that. And then she's going to be dropped off here and do what I'm doing. Meanwhile, I am heading up the trail. So there's a lot of pasture land up here, a lot of farmland you're going to see today. And that's kind of where I'm at right now. And yeah, I'm going to have to turn the video off for a minute so I can manage this gate. It's child-proof or Sunny D-proof, so I'm going to work on it, and then I'll continue. All right, lesson learned. Apparently there's little directions on how to open and close that gate, and once I read them, I had no problem opening and closing the gate. But prior to that, I was working on it for about a minute. So I have some friends that have already come through this area, and they kind of shared what it looks like, and I had a general idea. But now I get to see it firsthand. It's a little breezy up here, not too bad. It's supposed to be a great day today. Hopefully the humidity's down, but I think it's going to be a high of like 76 or so. And my goal today is a shelter that's about 11 and a half miles out. Probably get there around 3:30. Might be able to get a little further. I don't mind getting further, but the shelter offers the privy, I think, and an easy water source, and also the possibility of other hikers kind of heading there. And if other hikers go to the shelter, I'm likely to kind of meet new people. So that would set me up for like a 10-mile day tomorrow. And again, into Damascus, where I want to do a very, very small resupply and get some things mailed back home that I shouldn't have brought with me this time around, that just added weight to my pack and I'm just not going to use. And then maybe have a nice meal before I head out on Tuesday morning for Marion, Virginia, which is about a 6-day hike for me. I think it's about 70 miles or so, maybe 5 days, I don't know. But yeah, so basically the way it stands is probably every 4 to 6 days, I'll probably sneak into a town and resupply, maybe stay the night, take a shower, get cleaned up. So 6 days max on the trail, and see how far that takes me. To be honest, I'm kind of sad and disappointed with all the friends that have already left the trail, but I understand it, and I'm not certain how far I plan to get. I obviously wanted initially to get all the way to the end. I'm not going to make that necessarily a goal anymore. That way I don't feel like I'm disappointing myself or others. My plan at this point is just to go and have fun, see how far that takes me, and as long as I'm enjoying myself and I'm not sick or injured, then I'll keep going. Maybe we'll see, and maybe that will take me all the way to the end, but I'm liking it so far today. Obviously it's only my 2nd day of being on the trail, 3rd day of hiking if you consider that Agua Blaze. Yeah, so let's have some fun. Okay, got to this point where all these cattle are here. The shuttle driver was telling us that the state owns a lot of this land and that these are free range cattle, though I see fencing here, which tells me that they're trying to keep them in an area. Maybe that's somebody's private property, I don't know. But one of the landmarks of the trail is this little structure up here. I don't know if you can call it a barn or not, corral, but it's just basically something you'd see out in the country, and it has a big AT sign on it. A lot of hikers like to have their picture taken out in front of it. So as I get closer, I get a better view of it. But it's, again, it's one of the hallmark photos or videos of this area. So I'm gonna shut down for now, but I'll show you it as I get closer. It's a beautiful day. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. All right, so I'm almost right up on it. Walking by some of these cattle, they were staring me down like I was being a nuisance. One had a really cool face on it, kind of like wearing a mask, a brown cow with a white mask faced. So it looks like, I know people go right up to that sign and have their photo taken, but I'm gonna try to, and I'm gonna get my photo taken as well. But I'm gonna do it without going right up on it, since it's gonna be a selfie and I wanna be certain I get everything in there. So yeah, here we go. Currently 8:15, about a mile into my hike, maybe a little more. I moved out of the pasture land, moving into kind of a foresty area. Pretty back in here. Again, everything's green. There's very little breeze back in here. Nice and shady. For those of you that are following my track on a map, on the Garmin map, I started up my Garmin GPS device and sent you an invite to follow along today. There's a handful of you, family and all, some friends. So if you're doing that, you can follow along. Again, it's gonna be 10-minute intervals, so you'll see a little dot moving along after every 10 minutes, I guess. I don't know, I've never really looked at it myself, but there should be a link to the map there. Today's terrain profile does not show a lot of elevation gain or loss. It's gonna be a lot of small bumps, so it shouldn't be too difficult. And tomorrow at some point, just before Damascus, I should be hitting the Tennessee-Virginia border, at which point I will be done with Tennessee and into Virginia officially. So that will be pretty fun. Anyway, yeah, this is kind of what it looks like. There's a little bit of a climb here, nothing major, fairly flat overall, and feeling good right now. Definitely want to lose some weight in this pack for sure, because I feel the difference between now and the first time around. So yeah, we'll do that. A little while ago, I heard a big rustling in the bushes to the left of me, and obviously I was thinking a big creature of some kind, animal. Looked over there and it was a small squirrel running through. So he's making a lot of noise for just a small guy, but better that than something else, I guess, huh? So anyway, here we go. Gonna continue on. Still plugging along. Just thought this was a unique feature. Somebody had built a little bench out here out of this wood material. Pretty neat. So I thought I'd share that. I just climbed a little bit. Again, not a big climb. So I'm not expecting a lot of climbing or a lot of going down today. So we'll see. Right now, it looks like it's relatively flat for a little while. And breeze is picking up, but I'm inside the wooded area, so I'm not feeling the effects of it as if I would in a wide open field earlier. I was feeling it a little bit, but all is well. It's about 9 a.m. I already made it 3 miles in. This is Double Spring Shelter. So in an hour and 10 minutes, I've gone 3 miles, which is pretty darn good considering I've been off trail. So this is the first of 3 shelters I'll encounter today between here and Damascus. It looks like a nice one. I don't need to use the bathroom. I don't know if they even have one for this. Looks pretty clean. I don't want to touch anything because of the norovirus, but it looks like it'd be a good one. They have the wall here. I'm not going to sign it, but I can see that Blue Jeans has been there. Pooh Bear, the man, the myth, the legend. Let's see if I notice anybody else. Those 2 I notice, obviously. Some of these other ones I don't. So bear bait I've heard, but I don't know. There is another person on the trail, Hot Tamale, I know him. School bus. Another person on the trail that's going by Sunny D, and I got to find out who that is. But on occasion, they go with Sunny. They are much more artistic than I am. Sorry, I'm not trying to be chauvinistic, but that kind of has a female touch to it, very artistic and very smooth drawing. So maybe the Sunny or Sunny D is a woman, maybe not, I don't know, but I'm gonna find out who that is. I do know this person here, I won't say it on video. It's a father-daughter team. So anyway, try not to touch anything. They have their book here to sign and to register, but I won't touch it. Some people think they may be getting norovirus from touching the register, the trail register that you sign. And I haven't really signed a lot of them anyway. I think I've only signed 3 on the whole trail. I'm not really into that for some reason. I don't know why. But I don't know if this one even has a privy, to be honest with you. Maybe one of the ones that doesn't. But anyway, on my way, 3 miles in an hour and 10 minutes. Not bad. Good morning. It's about 10:30 a.m. Just crossed a little roadway, paved roadway. I didn't check the number on it or what it's designated as. But right on the other side of it, there was a bunch of soda, water, and Gatorade. So I took one of these Gatorades with me as trail magic. On a little bit of a climb right now, not much. My plan, well, here's a series of distances up here on signs. So I'm about 15 miles out from, so the sign shows I'm about 15 miles out from Damascus. I don't know if I've said that already. About 4.8 miles out from Abington Gap Shelter. I planned on staying at Abington Gap Shelter at 4.8 miles out, but honestly, I'm making better time than I thought. So I'm just under 3 hours and about 7 miles, 7.2 miles in. So I might stop at Abington Gap Shelter and relax for a little while, and then take like a little lunch break there, and then maybe try to get another 3 to 4 miles in before I call it a day. If I do that, then that will set me up for an early morning tomorrow in Damascus. I'll probably have 7 miles or 6 miles to go tomorrow when I get to Damascus, and that will have given me anywhere from 12 to 16 miles today. So yeah, so I said there wasn't much of a climb today. There's little climbs like this along the way. This is a pretty decent one actually, but I'll get up there. So anyway, here we go. Okay, 10:45 a.m. I like this stretch of trail. Looks like it's been manicured pretty well. So it's nice and smooth for the most part. Trees are down obviously, but easy to get under. And yeah, it's really well groomed, so easy to get through. So I've gone a little over 7 miles in 3 hours. Not bad, I guess. So that's more than 2 miles an hour, 2.3, 2.4. I think it's actually like 2.4, so 2.45. Not bad. Yeah, just plugging along. It's sunny and warm. I'd say it's probably in the mid 60s right now with the slight breeze, which is great because that breeze is knocking the humidity down, which I like. Come across 3 hikers so far. Closer, who I've known for the last few days. He's going southbound to Boots Off Hostel. Came across a woman by the name of Jelly. And then I don't know the third guy's name. I didn't ask. But they're all, I think, going to Boots Off Hostel, and then they're going to be shuttled back probably to Damascus tomorrow night or Tuesday morning. So they're pretty much on the same schedule I'm on, just going the opposite direction to make up some of their miles. And since they went to trail days, obviously. And we might be on the way out of Damascus together Tuesday. We'll see. But so far, so good. It's 12:35. This is McQueen's Knob Shelter. You can see there's a tree right here that's down, literally right in front of the shelter, and the shelter's still standing, thank goodness. It looks like it fell away from the shelter. So this is an older shelter. Doesn't look like it's a very sound shelter. I don't know that I'd stay in there. I think it was built in the 30s, but it has room for, I think, I don't know, looks like maybe 3, 4 maybe, but still being maintained, and I guess they still consider it a safe shelter. Otherwise they would have told people to avoid it. I won't be staying here, but it kind of looks like it's leaning a little bit, maybe not. So yeah, I guess if the weather's bad enough, you might take the chance of going in there. But you can see there's obvious signs that it's been taken care of lately. So there you go. It's 2:15 in the afternoon. I'm just leaving Abington Gap Shelter. I stopped and ate a little snack there and refilled my water bottles. Got a little extra water to carry on the road to have for later today. Met 2 gentlemen that are older than I am. I want to say mid 60s, that have through hiked the Appalachian Trail already, and they're going through a second time now. And they through hiked the Pacific Crest Trail as well. So a lot of experience, and we sat and talked for quite a while. I was there for an hour, but they're going south and I'm going north at this point. And they were talking about how they pass a lot of good usable campsites between here and Damascus. So since it's early in the day, I want to try to get another 2 to 4 miles in, see if I can find a campsite to myself. I have plenty of water. That's the only issue I would have had. There's no water now until you get to Damascus, at least 2 miles out. So I'm 8 miles from the nearest water, but I have plenty. I literally have 3 liters to get me through the night and tomorrow. And I usually only carry 2 liters, so should be good. They say it's mostly downhill, which I'm starting to see here. And yeah, probably go another 2 to 4 miles, depending on how I feel, and see if I see any good sights. If I see a good site within the first 2 miles, I might take it, just so I don't miss out on that opportunity. There are no other hikers out here at the moment, going my direction anyway, so I don't think I'm competing for sites. Ladybug came through, that young woman, but she started 6 miles further up than I did. So she only had 15 miles to get back to Damascus, and that's an easy hike. She's getting that done today. She'll get all the way in there. For me, it would have been 21 miles. I did kick around the idea of doing it, but it's a lot too soon. I don't want to overdo it too early in my hike, and there's really no reason for it. So both those guys stayed at the place, the church hostel over the weekend for trail days, and they said that it was very quiet there and a lot of older people even older than them, staying there, so I should be fine. The downside of the place is they don't have laundry, but I think the caretaker can probably tell me where to get laundry done in town. I know during trail days, free laundry was being offered, but I won't be in town until tomorrow. Trail days will be over. I think some of the other hostels will let me do laundry there and then just charge me like $5, which is fine. Yeah, initially I was going to stay at the Broken Fiddle hostel, but I understand it's kind of like a party hostel, and even though trail days is over, I don't want to be around that atmosphere, so I'm going to err on the side of safety. And if I don't get laundry done, I don't get laundry done. It's only another 4 to 5 days, actually 5 days to get to Marion, and my clothes can go 8 to 9 days without laundry. They're not dirty per se. Maybe they aren't to me, maybe to someone else, but you know, no one else is going to be dealing with my clothes but me, so there you go. Anyway, I'm on my way, and we'll see where I get from here. It's about 3:30 p.m. I'm about 14 and a half to 15 miles into my day. I'm looking for a good camping spot. I've seen a few hikers going southbound that have mentioned that there's some good ones ahead, one with a fire ring. I don't need the fire ring per se, but usually when there's a fire ring, it indicates it's a well-worn site and a used site, so that's something I'd be interested in. So hopefully I'll find that. Otherwise, I could potentially be going all the way into Damascus again, which is another 6 miles or so. And I'm at the point where I'm tired. Pack's heavier than it's been in the past at about 35 pounds. I'm actually carrying an extra liter of water right now, so 3 liters of water, which is 6 pounds, right? I did that because water doesn't come up again until about 2 miles before Damascus, and I wanted to make certain I had enough for cooking dinner tonight and for breakfasts in the morning. So yeah, hopefully I find this soon, because I'm ready to settle in for the night. But you know, there's chores to do when I get there: set up the tent, find a decent bear hanging tree, and that might be challenging. But again, if there's a fire ring, usually that's an area that's so established that others have found trees to hang from, and also it'd be nice to have that opportunity. We'll see how it comes about. But I've come across 4 or 5 hikers in the last hour, and each of them said that there are some good sites up ahead here. And I've seen one that I passed by, but I passed by it about 2.5 miles ago, and that was just too early. So I'm ready now though. So let's see how it goes. All right, it's currently 3:45. I've just come from this direction down the trail. There's not much of a view down there, but there's a valley down there. And this is the direction I'll be heading tomorrow, because I found my spot for tonight. This looks flat enough to set a tent up on. It has some old fire rings. It looks like a recent fire. I won't be doing that, but some old fire rings back there. There's nothing really good back there though. But anyway, this will be my spot for tonight. Yeah, so I ended up doing 14.8 miles today, more than I thought I'd do coming back onto the trail, but I'm happy with that. And I have 6 to 6.5 miles left tomorrow to get to Damascus, depending on what part of Damascus I want to go to. I spent the weekend there at trail days, so this will be just an overnight at the place hostel, the church, so I can get a few more grocery items, get a good meal, get showered again, maybe try to do some laundry, but primarily to send some things home. I overpacked this time, so the backpack looks a little big. It's about 35 pounds, and that's more than I want it to be. My last time on the trail about a month ago, I was down to about 32 pounds, so I think I can get back down there. Granted, I'm carrying a lot of food and water today, so maybe that's where the weight's coming from, but happy to be here. I'm gonna go ahead and get myself set up and try to find a good bear hang bag, or tree. It's always hard to find one that has the branch you want, but I'll take some time and look around. All right, Sunday evening, around 5 p.m. This is my home for the night. Semi-flat area right off the trail. It's about 5.5 miles out from Damascus. I should be able to get there early in the morning. So I have this, one of the new additions to my kit for this part of my hike is this little cold soak jar I bought, and it could take hot water as well. At one of the booths yesterday at Damascus Trail Days, I had the opportunity to spin a wheel, and I spun the wheel and I won 2 packets of cold or hot brew pour over coffee, which is pretty cool. It's this little box thing that comes apart and sits on top of your cup and opens up so that you can just pour hot water into it, and it makes hot brew. Now, however much water you pour into it is what fills your cup. I could have had more than what I have there, but I dumped some of my hot water before I got it out. So anyway, I didn't want to waste water because I need some for tomorrow. I have 2 bottles there, one for drinking and one for cooking in the morning. I've been treating my water not just with the filter I have, the Cadden Be Free filter, but also little aqua tabs, because those kill the viruses like norovirus. So yeah, Gwen mentioned that, and I decided I should bring them along, and that's what I've done. I brought them along, and I'm adding them to my water. They have to stay in your water for 30 minutes before you drink it, and that's fine. I made that work. And when you boil it, you don't have to worry about it. So anyway, that's where I'm at. This is my spot for the night. I'm just kind of finalizing my setup. Gonna brush my teeth, crawl into my tent, and read my ebook that I brought along with me, maybe listen to some music. But it's a great night. I came in contact with probably about 35 people today, probably about 10, 12, 13 hikers. The rest were trail workers, so that's not bad. Most of the hikers were going, well, all of the hikers were going southbound. There were only 2 going northbound, myself and Ladybug, and she made it back to Damascus, I think. So yeah, that's where I'm at. I don't have cell service in this spot, so I'm using my GPS to send notes home to Gwen, as well as to get the weather forecast for the next day. Have a great night. Good evening. It's about 5:40 p.m. I'm getting ready to crawl into my sleeping bag and kind of read a book or listen to music. It's been a good day. I got further along than I thought I would. Got on the trail at 7:30 and actually found my camp somewhere around 4 o'clock. Made 14.8 miles today. I didn't expect to go that far, but I had to keep going until I found somewhere to camp. Not a bad start, really, for having been off the trail. When I left the trail, I was averaging 13 to 15 miles a day. I didn't know that I'd be able to do that right away, but I felt good, and I think I can do that. But today's hike was not that bad. It was pretty mellow up and down, not a lot of big climbing, so I guess that kind of added to it. So I find myself about 5.5 miles from Damascus again, but tomorrow I'll be walking in and staying at the Place Hostel, which is run by a church. Again, I need to get very minimal food supply at the grocery store. Gonna go to get a meal to eat, so I have a good meal. I want to get to the post office and send some things home. My pack has been averaging about 35 pounds on this trip with food and water for 5 days. Before I left the trail, it was averaging about 32 to 33 pounds, sometimes 34. I want to get back down to that. I brought a few extra things this time around that I don't really think I'm going to need. I am keeping my little tiny ebook. It's really tiny, the size of a cell phone, and I like that. I've been using it, so I will definitely keep it. When I get to town tomorrow morning, I'm going to probably go to the library as well, because the library allows you to charge your devices, and I just like how relaxing it is. So I'll go in there and probably read my ebook and kind of just relax for a little while. The people there are pretty kind. I will tell you that I have a few little stories to share. So I'm trying to post videos. Obviously, when I get to Damascus, I should be able to post today's video and then yesterday's video, which will include some of the storm footage that I had before and a few new storm footage sections. But anyway, I posted that day, I think 43 from Damascus, Friday of trail days, and it already has 880 views. Prior to that, I think I may have had at most 250, 260 views for a video. So it's amazing. I guess people are looking up trail days in Damascus and finding my video since it's public and they're seeing it. Gwen also posted on an Appalachian Trail site on Facebook that I'm a person to follow, I guess, because there was a mother-daughter team that was pretty popular, and they've left the trail at this point. They were doing a fundraiser. Once they met their goal, they left the trail. So there are some people looking for new people to follow, I guess, and so Gwen recommended me. So I've gone from 303 followers to 330, I think, something like that, in one day. I did give my my address to a handful of people at Trail Days that asked for it. One gentleman made a recommendation saying I should include my mileage and my pack weight at the end of each day, which I thought was a great idea. I'm not able to do the pack weight every day because I can't really weigh it until I get to town, and only sometimes, but I can tell you my mileage, and I really should have been including that all along. Anyway, second story, besides my video views, which I think is pretty fun, is that when I did my aqua blazing, there were 7 other people involved. There was a young woman about Nathan's age, 24, 25. Her name is Jen. She doesn't have a trail name yet. Anyway, she came up to me at Trail Days yesterday and asked if I had posted a video of myself inside my tent when the storm was coming through, and I said yes. I'd posted it on Facebook for my friends and family. Well, apparently her mother saw the video. I have no idea how her mother would have seen the video because I didn't give my Facebook address to any people that I've been hiking with other than Gretel and Dodger. So I have no idea how she would have seen it unless it made its way onto an Appalachian Trail site. But anyway, her mother had seen it and contacted her to make certain that she was safe. And I just thought that was kind of funny that, and you know what's funny is I saw some people that had liked the video or showed caring on the video, and I had no idea who they were. I didn't know them to be friends or family, so again, I have no idea how that happened. So I thought that was pretty funny and pretty cool that people are seeing it that that I didn't know would see it. And then finally, the last thing I want to share is my friend prior to leaving the trail, 62, is around mile 6, probably 40 today, but he posted his own video a few days back from mile 610 on the trail. So he's been hiking a lot of times by himself and then finding different people to hike with and camp with each night, and he was camping with another gentleman. I don't remember the other gentleman's trail name, but at mile 610, in the middle of the morning, they were hearing a lot of noise outside their tents. So they got outside their tent, and there was a big bear sitting about 5 feet away from the other guy's tent, not 62's tent, but the other guy's tent, sitting on a log next to a tree about 5 feet away from the other guy's tent. They had thought they had heard some ripping or tearing going on, so that concerned them. At any rate, they threw rocks and yelled for a while, and the bear finally left and they got rid of it. So the next morning, they went down to where the other hiker had put his bear canister. He had a bear canister way down the trail, which is the wise thing to do when you're camping. And it looked like the bear canister had been flipped over. So apparently the bear tried to get into the bear canister and couldn't get in, and then came to the camp to look for more food. And the tearing they heard on the corner of your tents, it's separate from the main fabric of your tent. There's like a little pull out that will lead to a little guy line that will go into like a stake that can go into the ground. So it's not a structural part of the tent per se in terms of exposing the tent to any weather, but there were some tears in that corner of the tent where something had clawed at it. They think that either the bear had tripped over it and caused the claw marks, or it actually swiped at the tent. But that was the other guy's tent that he was talking about. So that was a pretty close encounter. And so they said they had a difficult time sleeping that night, but yeah, he was thankful that he had another person with him. My food's hanging from trees. I don't think that I'm going to have that experience. Hopefully not. Anyway, all is well. Again, it's still light out, but I want to get a good night's sleep, get up around 7:30 and hit the trail so I can get down into Damascus. Thanks again for following. I will post this video and the video from yesterday's Trail Days as soon as I get good cell service or Wi-Fi in town. And I truly appreciate any comments you want to make because they really do kind of brighten my day and inspire me to continue. Thanks again. Sunny D out.